Welcome back, Catamounts! Thanks for tuning in to WeTV and our last newscast of the semester. I'm Lorelei Noyes.
And I'm Lily Liska. This is your campus news from WeTV and Catamount Entertainment.
I just can't believe the semester and this academic year is almost over.
I know.
It went by in a flash.
Let me just tell you, the Lily who started this semester is not the Lily who is ending this semester.
Same for this Lorelei. Western Carolina University officials say turf replacement work at Bob Waters Field and Whitmire Stadium will begin in the coming days. Starting Thursday evening, a portion of Lot 12, also known as the Fieldhouse Lot, will be closed off for project staging, with temporary fencing going up on Friday. The road in front of the Jordan Phillips Fieldhouse will stay open, but drivers should expect delays as contractors move equipment across the roadway throughout the day. Work is scheduled to begin Sunday, April 12th, and the affected parking area will remain closed until Friday, May 8th.
The North Carolina Department of Transportation Wildflower Program has named Haywood County one of the winners for 2026. If you've ever driven to Asheville from Cullowhee along the highway, you might notice a stretch of wildflowers on your right. Since 1985, wildflowers can be seen across the state of North Carolina. According to the National Department of Transportation, the program has been an important part of highway beautification, with wildflowers sprouting and being maintained throughout the state by roadside environmental personnel, each of the highway's divisions.
More than 3,000 No Kings protests occurred through the nation on March 28th. Some of the protests could be found in western North Carolina. Reporter Haley Stanley gives us more information on the protest in downtown Sylva.
We, the people, are stronger than him. Our Constitution is stronger than him. Now we need to get Congress to do their job. Impeach and remove. What we mean by no kings. No kings, not now, not ever.
The No Kings protest, part of a nationwide series of demonstrations, was held in downtown Sylva. Participants gathered to voice concerns about the current administration
Immigrants did not have borders.
And recent immigration policies enforced by ICE. Many attendees carried signs expressing distrust and opposition to what they described as an abuse of power.
My name is Janice. I'm here to support the effort to give the message to the administration that the American people do not support his policies and what he's doing.
This is my third time coming here, and I never went to a protest before this administration. And I come because I want to see, it's good to see there's other people that agree with me.
This is the third No Kings protest organized by Indivisible Common Ground. The organization's overall goal is to show their commitment to nonviolent protest and promotion of democracy. I'm Hallie Stanley, reporting for the Western Carolina Journalist.
Stay tuned for our national news desk.
And We Cook with Julian and Ryan. We'll be right back after this break.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We have this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out?
You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR. It's all good if you think you should check in. Yeah, you should.
Whatever gets you talking. Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Whatever gets you talking. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
Hello, I'm Lorelei Noyes, and welcome to the National News Desk. And here's your news from around the country. This past Tuesday, President Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, writing, "A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again," ending the post with, "7 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end," end quote. The post comes after Iran refused to open the Strait of Hormuz following the passing of the initial deadline set by the president. By Tuesday evening, Pakistan's Prime Minister urged the U.S. and Iran to agree to a 2-week ceasefire. In another Truth Social post from President Trump, he says, "We have already met and exceeded all military objectives and are very far along with a definitive agreement concerning long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East," end quote. This marks the 6th week of conflict between the United States and Iran, surpassing the initial March 23rd deadline for the war. The conflict began in late February with U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iranian targets, including killing of Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei and other officials. At the time, President Trump said the strikes were intended to eliminate threats and prevent Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons. Now, tensions have escalated, turning the conflict into a broader geopolitical struggle over power and strategic resources. In response to the initial Truth Social post, other political figures have shared their opinion. In an X post, former Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene signaled for Congress to use the 25th Amendment, stating, "Not a single bomb has been dropped on America. We cannot kill an entire civilization. This evil is madness," end quote. This past Monday, President Trump was asked in a press conference about his thoughts on Americans who didn't support the Iran war. Trump responded saying, "They're foolish because the war's about one thing. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon," end quote. As a result of the ongoing war with Iran, gas prices have risen nationally, pushing the national average to $4.14 a gallon. This is the highest gas prices have been since the summer of 2022. Since the beginning of the war with Iran in early March, prices have surged more than $1, and this is the fastest gas prices have risen in 6 years, according to data from the American Automobile Association. While prices still vary across the country because of fuel tax, some states are hitting over $5 a gallon. Attorney General Todd Blanche delivered his first public remarks Tuesday following the firing of former Attorney General Pam Bondi, outlining a new federal push to combat fraud. Blanche called fraud a growing national crisis, saying the Justice Department is handling more than 8,000 cases, costing taxpayers billions. He announced a new National Fraud Enforcement Division to prioritize investigations, along with additional prosecutors across the country and a data-driven center to track complex schemes. Blanche also warned scammers should be on notice, with more enforcement actions expected in the coming weeks. This has been your national news. I'm Lorelei Noyes. Back to you at the desk.
An Asheville, police are cracking down on vehicle noise and reckless driving in the downtown area this early April. Officers have issued 9 citations by April 4th and say this is an effort to respond to community complaints about speeding, suspected street racing, and loud mufflers. The violations given out so far are violations of NC General Statute 2128, or a violation for an improper muffler. The increase in citations has been made to keep the downtown area a safe and welcoming place for everyone.
And finally, it's bear season, which means you might have some unexpected guests in your backyard. Typically, bears will come out of hibernation mid-April, and now is the time to make sure they don't take refuge near or under your home. Bears are known to come back to food sources once they find them, so securing an open garbage bin would be a good precaution. If there are gaps to get under a house, they can also be secured with wire fencing, or unwelcome mats can be used.
Campus dining comes with many ups and downs for students. Reporter Dom Sayani gives us the story.
Campus dining is an essential part of most Western Carolina students' daily routine. From an early morning meal to a quick bite between classes, dining halls play a major role in student life. But is it enough? Undergraduate Tyler Stickney says the amount differs based on the meal plan.
In the premium plan, there are, because you can choose to go eat at Moe's, get yourself a bowl of chicken and lettuce and plenty of other stuff. In the basic plan, I don't think there's enough choices at all.
According to Catamount.Dining Hub, first-year students have 2 options, the Unlimited Basic costing around $2,493 per semester and the Unlimited Premium for $2,899 per semester. However, not every student relies on a meal plan. For commuter students like Marshall Jaco, eating on campus is more about convenience than routine.
I try to eat food at home before my morning classes, so usually a breakfast or a grab and go bring with me. Lunch I generally eat on campus because that's just kind of how my class schedule is set up. I personally don't have a meal plan. Eating on campus gets really expensive when you try to eat that much. It is a little pricey.
There are a variety of commuter meals for students to choose from, with each one varying in price. But for some students, it's not just about convenience or cost, it's about safety and dietary needs. With a growing number of students who have food allergies or follow vegetarian and vegan diets, accessibility becomes even more important. Upperclassman Abigail Jones says campus dining has made efforts to accommodate those needs.
So when I first started here, I actually met with the dietitian that they have, and she was actually very helpful to help me find foods that I can have, gave me some of the ingredient lists so I knew what was in the food. I would like to see more fruit options actually that are refrigerated, more than just cantaloupe or strawberries or grapes.
As Western Carolina's student population continues to grow and diversify, dining services face increasing pressure to meet a wide range of needs.
Wow, something smells...
Wait, it must be Julian and Ryan.
Julian and Ryan don't smell.
Right. Well, they must be cooking up something. Let's see what they have in store, and we cook.
We have beef, sausage, onion, garlic, Parmesan, mozzarella, ricotta, pasta sauce, tomato paste, lasagna, and Italian seasoning and parsley. First, we're going to have to dice up the onion. And we're going to turn it on to low to medium heat. A generous amount of olive oil. Get your mixed garlic, put it in there to start. And put all of your onions in. Take half a pound of sausage and half a pound of regular beef, and you're gonna shove them both in there. Then you're just gonna start mixing it all together, you know, get it nice and flat, break it up. And then a generous amount of pasta sauce. And a second one. And that should be about enough. And then we're gonna let the sauce thicken and simmer, and then we can go ahead and put it into the whole thing, put it all together. All right, then we're gonna get put some Italian seasoning on. It's kind of however much you want. Bit of parsley. And then we will stir it in there. See, the sauce is getting nice and thick. 2 cups of ricotta cheese. 1 egg. 1.5 cups of mozzarella cheese. 1/4 cup of Parmesan. I'm just gonna eyeball it. That's usually what I do for these things. I just kind of eyeball it. Finally, some salt. Now take the meat sauce that has been cooking, start laying it across the bottom. Try and get like a nice even spread. Make sure not to, spill, of course. But we're gonna layer the entire bottom in this sauce. Now get your noodles. If you are cooking them yourself, yeah, that'll be you. I buy oven ready noodles so I don't have to do that because I think it's easier. And then you just lay them on top, push them down like so. You want to have about 3 per layer. And then you will put the cheese on top. And then put the meat sauce on next, and we will repeat until we are all out of everything. All right, and then you're gonna preheat to 350. For the final layer, we're gonna forego the cheese, put the noodles in, make it nice, and there's no cheese left, so we're just gonna get the rest of the meat sauce, whatever we have left, put it all on the top. Right, and then we will cover it as best we can. Right, and now we will put this in the oven for 45 minutes. And now take this, lay it here since it's so hot. For 15 minutes. Oh. And there you have a beautiful lasagna. We'll let it sit for a little bit and then it'll be good to eat. Thank you for joining us for We Cook. We'll see you next episode for Caesar's finale.
Stay tuned for our interview with Jacoy Bell and our special guest, Macy Ceciliano.
We'll be right back after this break with Paisley Harris with weather.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. Ready! That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Right here, baby. Look. Oma.
Noah. Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here! Wait! What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an
to
effort.
get to know each other.
On a deeper level.
Father,
Cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
it's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward, come together,
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Good evening, Catamounts. I'm Paisley Harris, here live with the weather. Tomorrow, Friday, is going to be a high of 74, low of 40, with a medium about 55, and it's going to be sunny. For Saturday, we've got a high of 74, low of 47. It's going to be medium about 56, and it's also going to be Sunday. Sunday, also sunny, with a high of 78, low of 51, and a medium about 60. Now it's going to switch to more cloudy on Monday, with a high of 76, low of 54, and a medium of about 61. For Tuesday, it's going to be partially sunny, partially cloudy, high of 81, low of 54, and a medium of 64. Going back to cloudy for Wednesday, high of 82, low of 55, and a medium of 67. For our last day, Thursday, we've got cloudy with a high of 82, low of 57, and a 64 as our medium. And that was our weather. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Paisley, for the weather report. Jackson County is partnering with consulting firms Thomas P. Miller and Associates, LLC, and 300 Block to address housing needs in the county. This affordable housing strategy is a part of the ongoing work through the University of North Carolina School of Government's NC Impact Program, Carolina Across 100, and the Our Stay, Our Homes program. There will be a data-driven assessment of present and future housing needs in the county, assessing housing supply, affordability, demographic needs, market conditions, and barriers to housing stability. The data will also be shared with residents, stakeholders, and service providers to better understand what needs to be addressed. The study collection is expected to be completed by the end of 2026. It will include a county-wide housing plan for Jackson County, an implementation roadmap, and a framework for monitoring progress over time.
Data from the State Board of Education shows that little over half of NC public school students are enrolling in college-level courses while still in high school. 54% of high school graduates have completed one college-level course or exam through advanced placement settings, the Career and College Promise program, or other college courses or programs. These are growing statistics from the past year, and programs like the Career and College Promise allow North Carolina public high school students to take college classes at community colleges and four-year universities while still in high school.
The Bunny Run 5K was hosted by the Southwestern Child Development Commission. Owen Fleming gives us the story.
The Southwestern Child Development Commission hosted the Bunny Run 5K on March 28th at the Southwestern Community College. The nonprofit agency focuses on the early care and education of children, as well as the professional development of child care staff, educators, and administrators. The profits from the 5K will go to the renovation of an almost 100-year-old historical building. The executive director, Mandy Mills, and her colleague, Stephanie Lovedahl, shared what the process will involve.
Putting it back to the original historic, before it was on the historical registry, a lot of alterations were done to it. So we have to raise money to replace 96 windows to put back to 8-foot windows, double French doors, take out a drop ceiling, new flooring, electrical, plumbing. It needs a lot of love and care.
And we're trying our best to get it back in great condition to be able to make a community center for Jackson County.
Ready, set, go!
The 5K had over 70 registrations, and several racers were Western Carolina students. Special education major Jaron Nash finished first overall with a 20-minute 49-second time, which was 4 minutes faster than the second-place finisher.
It was pretty good. Yeah. There were some people that shot out in front of me, and I was like, oh. And then we got to that hill. It's pretty brutal. Nice downhill cruise, and then lapped it back.
Each race winner received a medal, and the runners returned home with a smile to kick off the Easter season. The organizers are already planning another 5K for next year. I'm Owen Fleming reporting.
Next, Chap Chapel with sports.
And Jacoy Bell with Macy Cesliano will be right back after this break.
Kids will be kids, which just goes to say kids will be curious. They get into everything, everything. If there's a loaded firearm in the house, they could get their hands on that too. Keeping firearms locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition in a place inaccessible to kids can help keep your loved ones safe from family fire. Safe gun storage saves lives.
We scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music.
Yeah.
Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
And now, sports with Chap Chapel.
Hi, I am Chap Chapel, your voice for Catamount Sports. As March Madness is now in the rear view, let's check in on Western Carolina athletics. And we get things swinging with softball as the Cats sit at 24-15 overall and 6-3 in the SoCon. Earlier this month, Western swept a doubleheader at East Tennessee State, winning 3-1 and 6-2. They followed up on that with another win on Saturday, 6-1. Back at home, however, the Cats dropped two games to Georgia State, 9-1 and 8-6. That second matchup that they had went 11 innings, the longest game for Western Carolina since 2015. At the plate, Maya McPherson continues to dominate with batting .466 with 61 hits, 15 home runs, and 50 RBIs. Sydney Dirks has also been a problem, contributing, hitting 372 average with 11 home runs and 42 RBIs. As a team, the Cats are hitting .309 with 51 home runs and over 230 RBIs. In the circle, Amanda Fulton leads the way. She is 11-5 with a 2.61 ERA and 122 strikeouts. A.G. Batson, adds depth with an 8-3 record and 38 strikeouts. Next up, Western Carolina heads to Birmingham, Alabama to face Samford. A Saturday doubleheader followed by a game on Sunday with second place for the SoCon on the line. Now we slide into baseball as the Catamounts are 20-14 overall and 3-3 in conference play. It has been a mixed stretch recently. A narrow loss to Presbyterian, going 2-1 against Winthrop with wins of 15-7, 7-6, and then a 4-6 loss as well. A tough loss to USC Upstate as well, 18-11. Offensively, Jackson Lyda leads the team, batting .342 and 40 hits. And Walker Fox Adam Power hitting .315 batting average with 7 home runs and 33 RBIs. As a team, the Cats are hitting .276 and with 44 home runs and 218 RBIs. On the mound, Carter Burnett leads the pitching staff with 44 strikeouts. This weekend, the Cats return home facing Mercer in a 3-game series. This is a key opportunity to gain ground in the competitive SoCon standings. As we approach the end of the spring semester, I encourage everybody to come out and come support your local Catamounts. For Catamount Sports, I am Chap Chappell, and go Cats!
And now, Jacoy Bell with our special guest.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jacoy, and this week in the corner, I have Macy Siciliano. She is a communication major with a concentration in journalism. Macy is a reporter for the Western Carolinian newspaper, part of the Mountains Color Guard, and the event and social media coordinator for WCU's Society of Professional Journalism. Macy, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, okay. So you're involved in a lot with the comm department. How can other communication majors get over the fear of joining the many clubs and organizations on campus?
Honestly, I would say everyone hates to hear my advice because it's easier said than done. But I would honestly say to just put yourself out there. I know what I did when I was really scared to join the Western Carolinian was I found a mutual through Instagram. And I texted her and I was like, hey, is it open? And she told me when they were hiring, and I just did my best and I just started showing up to the meetings, and then I applied.
Okay. And the Western Carolinian being one of those organizations, what goes into being a reporter for a newspaper?
A lot more than people think. So on a personal basis, everything I have to do for my job is I come up with my own story ideas, and then I have to go through all of the planning and pre-planning and finding out who I have to interview, and then I reach out to everyone I have to interview, whether it is faculty and staff, students, people of the community. If I'm covering an event, I have to find which events I'm covering when they are, and then we basically do everything ourselves up until editing, and I write the story top to bottom, and then also take photography, and I send it off to our lovely copy editors as for a unit as a whole. We meet every single Tuesday, only for about an hour. So I'm super lucky to have a job where the in-office hours are only an hour a week. But the first Tuesday we meet and discuss story ideas, and then the next 3 or 4 Tuesdays, depends on the month, we discuss how the stories are going, and then after the edition gets released, we go through the edition and we talk about things that we could improve, things that went great, and what we're looking to do for our next edition.
Okay. And how do you make the decision to figure out what's a good story or not?
So me personally, there's 2 main things I look at. I look at the relevance and then whether or not it's kind of evergreen or not. So I guess those kind of go hand in hand. Whether it's evergreen or not, if it's a story that I know won't be quote unquote old news in a month's time and I already have a lot on my plate, I'll just save it for the next edition. But if it's something that's like a pressing matter, like 2 editions ago I wrote a story about the measles in Buncombe County. I knew that was a story that had to go out in that edition because that was something happening now that a lot of the students at Western wanted to know about since we are so close to Asheville. And then another is relevance. We don't cover things that aren't within the Western North Carolina area.
Right.
I mean, it just wouldn't make sense for us to cover things that are happening in Tennessee or Georgia. And another is like, if it's a campus event, we try really hard to cover campus events, such as, the UP game and things like that. So.
Okay. As a journalism major, how do you feel about the news right now and the media today?
I have very complex feelings about the media and news today, mainly because I think news has become something that's on the more biased side from a lot of journalists, especially in a political sense for both sides. And one of the number 1 rules I try to follow as like a beginning journalist is to always you seek out the truth and you report it as it is. And it's a job as journalists to try and not let our own personal bias get in the way of that. We want to distribute news that is fair and polite to all sides. And I think that's something a lot of journalists are struggling with now, and that leads the public to be more wary of us and kind of gives journalists a bad rep of being people that, can't keep our mouths shut or being nosy and everything when we're just trying to do our jobs. So.
Right, exactly. Don't let them. Don't let them. Okay. Being that you are the event and social media coordinator for the Society of Professional Journalists, are there any upcoming events that people should keep their ear out for?
Yes. We actually, on Thursday, April 16th, in Stillwell 253 at 5:30 p.m., we have a guest speaker coming in, Amy S. Connor. She is going to be doing a lesson and a workshop on mental health and media and talking about trauma, stress, and media. It's open to all students, so you don't have to be a comm major. And it'll be a really great opportunity to kind of talk through some of the things that a lot of people, even if you are in public every day, it's a really great thing to talk through. And then that following Monday, we will be having a workshop on journalism, law, and ethics in UC 212 at 5:30 p.m.
Okay, so go check them out. You do color guard here at Western as well as Winter Guard International. What's it like learning multiple dance routines to many different songs?
Yeah, so color guard and winter guard are two very different things. Color guard is with the marching band during the fall season during football games. So you'll always see us out there marching down with the band and the dancers and the cheerleaders. And then Winter Guard International is independent groups that meet on the weekends. I know my group is in Atlanta, so this past year when I did it, I drove down every single weekend to Atlanta, 2.5 hours one way to Atlanta to do this. But for color guard, I've been doing color guard for about 7 years now, so it kind of comes naturally to me. I would say the most difficult part of the dances is learning our stand dances, because I'm kind of been trained to be able to memorize a 12-minute show on the field. And we have a 2-week band camp. It's about 14 days, 12 hours a day, where we do nothing except our halftime show. So that kind of preps you. As for Winter Guard, you have 4 months to learn a 4-minute thing, but because it's all on weekends, it gets really stressful. So I'm still working on the independent guard, but.
Okay, well, I've watched the show Bring It, so I know a little bit about dancing, okay? Would you pursue dancing in the future as part of your career?
I definitely think so. As a sophomore in college, I've already had the opportunity to kind of tech at some high schools back home for their color guard program. So basically, I sit there kind of like a step under the director, and I just kind of help them with rehearsal, and I help them with technique, with dance, with performance. So I definitely think that's something I would continue to do in the future as long as my professional career allows me to.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me.
Of course, thank you.
And I'm Jacoy Bell. Now back to the desk.
That's all the campus news we have for you this evening.
Thanks for watching our final newscast of the semester, and make sure you tune in to our lovely senior send-off April 30th. And as always, go Cats!